I cannot believe I had to do this shit all over again. But anyway, welcome to the Gaming Pulpit. This is your host, JD. And today we are going to be talking about the leaked spoilers of Death Stranding. It's not really looking too good. I'm going to give you the leaked footage, not footage, excuse me, the leaked information without the actual spoilers, just gameplay stuff that people really care about. Like, what kind of game is it? What is going on with the game itself? And then I'm going to be giving you my takes on this, okay? I want to actually start off by saying that I will be holding a contest. If you can guess 3 days after MPDs what the Metacritic score is, I will give you $60 so you could actually buy the game or do whatever the hell you want with it. What I ask from you is that you actually email me. It'll be in the description. Um, your PSN, or just email me and I'll give you the PSN, not the PSN. I'm sorry. I'll just email me and then send me a screenshot within that email of you subscribing to the channel. If I can verify that, then I'll give you the PSN code that is $60. You can do whatever you want with it. But let's get into it. I'm going to give you all of the spoilers, free spoilers, I guess that's what you want to call it. And then you could do whatever you want with that one. So there's a lot of information that I want to tell you. So let's break it down. Let's break it down. I just did this whole shit and I decided I was like, I'm not liking this. Either way, so there's some good and there's some bad. So let's start off with the good. So from what I hear, it takes about 30 to 35 hours to beat. There's a lot of walking and traveling, but it's reminiscent to Breath of the Wild or Red Dead Redemption. You're going to definitely need, with the 3D map, to carefully plan your destination. You're going to need to make sure that the terrain isn't rough so you won't damage your equipment and shit like that. People liked it in Breath of the Wild, so you shouldn't have a problem with this, right? Cutscenes are controllable, so you can zoom in and out. The same thing that you dealt with Metal Gear Solid, so that's pretty cool. I like that shit. Um, Kojima said something. He was spotted saying that likes are like uncontrollable, not uncontrollable. What did he say? Unconditional love and not currency, which is a ridiculous statement, such as creating a genre as well. It's just everything saturated. But what I can gather or surmise that he means, because maybe there was a translation issue, is that maybe you are dealing with something really stressful in the game in terms of like, I don't want to travel there. This was a pain in the ass. Let me just build this bridge for this nigga so it won't be this difficult. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's what they were kind of doing with that, or what he meant by that. Other than that, I don't know what the fuck this nigga's talking about, to be honest with you. But moving on. Um, they say that the music is great. They say that the cut scenes and graphics are top notch, which we can clearly see. Um, they say that the Death Stranding event occurs in the middle of the United States. So if you look at one of the maps, it's a huge fucking crater or whatever the fucking case is. We don't know anything about that. It could be a spoiler for the storyline, whatever the case is. But you saw it in one of the trailers that the United States in the middle of it is fucked up, right? Um, People say that around Act 3, um, the game becomes like a fucking horror game. Essentially, it's like really stressful. It's very reminiscent to PT, which is pretty cool. I don't know how the hell they're going to plan it. You know what? I like that particular aspect of the game. Um, one guy, like I said before, he said it was really stressful. Um, and I think we covered all of the good. Now for the bad, which this fucking hurts like a motherfucker. I'm not gonna lie to you. There is no day and night cycles. Fuck. Because everybody knows that the way I am, there's a day and night cycle. I love day and night cycles. I like open world games, but that pisses me off. The rain is random, but there's no day and night cycles. Maybe that's how they got the graphics to do what they wanted. I don't fucking know. But that shit pissed me off. People were saying that the cutscenes are very disjointed. So it's like you run around, a movie plays, you run around again, a movie plays, you run around again, so forth and so on. Very reminiscent to Metal Gear Solid 5, which is like, fuck. Also, they say that the storyline has holes, or there's still um unresolved things that are going on. They don't really say or finish what's going on. So that's another, I guess, sequel baiting or whatever you want to call it. Another person said this is not a new genre. This is like fucking what we had before. This is like basically a bad mashup of other genres. That's not good. The person also goes along the lines of saying that Sea of Thieves is more of a new genre than this game. So that's not good. They said that the disjointed nature of the game is reminiscent to like TV. It should have been like a TV show with episodes. People say that was a slow burn, very very slow. But then again, so was Red Dead, and nobody had a fucking problem with that. People say that it was rough around the edges. I do see some issues with the animations, little hiccups and stuff like that. So maybe that's what they were talking about. Maybe that could be patched. They said that the cutscenes are long, very very long. So that is basically a good or a bad thing. You know what I mean? If you're familiar with Kojima games, that could be a good thing. And if you're not, if you're used to action games, well, I mean, that's his shtick. He loves it. He loves shit like that. So that's difficult to kind of deal with. They say that the game is broken up into 3 maps, 2 large ones and 1 medium one. I'm not sure how the fuck that goes. But whatever it is, it takes about 8 to 10 minutes to cross. They didn't specify if it was a motorcycle that you were riding or if you were walking. I'm not exactly sure what the fuck's going on with that one. But, you know, there's that. Now, going directly to the Reset Era threads here, this is what some of the people were saying. They said that the open world is more interesting than Metal Gear Solid 4, but it had the same drawbacks of open world. It's more interesting than Metal Gear Solid 5, but it still has the same tropes of open worldness, right? They say that it's fun to explore new areas. That's just stick of the game, but at the same time, when you're asked for the 5th time to go back into the same area to deal with the same things, it becomes tedious. You know what I mean? I say the safe houses that you go and travel looks exactly the same, which to me is relegated to like resource savings. You know what I mean? They say it's exactly the same thing. You do exactly the same stuff, and that's how it is. It's basically like copy and paste. They say that somebody even was caught saying that the game, which is to me is a pro, but they have some Minecraft elements to it. There's building, I guess. They said it's going to cater to Minecraft people. I don't know how that's going to work. Sounds pretty fucking cool if you ask me. We all know that the rain damages your cargo, so you're gonna need to build shelters or take shelters and stuff like that, or find shelters. So that's pretty good. Somebody goes on and says that the game feels like a bit of a chore at the start of the game. You know what I mean? They say it's not as good as Red Dead Redemption 2 or God of War, but then again, it's different games, so it's kind of hard to, you know, really understand what exactly is going on with that. You can't really compare those two. But they say if you're expecting like a stealth action game or Metal Gear Solid 6, you're going to definitely want a refund. And then these are some spoilers, I believe. I think that's why I just recorded it just in case. But here's the thing. All right. This is the thing that kind of kills me, right? At the end of the day, right? I told you guys. Somebody even goes on and says that the game is a 5 out of 10. You can't really base off of just one person. I get it. I'm gonna love the game regardless. But now that I'm reading the impressions, it's probably gonna be an 8.5 or 85% on the Metacritic. That would be my guess. I like action adventure games and I like exploring. I've been known to just kind of just do nothing in open world games except for travel and shit like that. So that's nothing new to me. I think people don't understand it. I think the type of person that would understand it is people that like to go on hiking trips and shit like that. That's going to be the game for them. And hiking isn't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And us, you know, gamers are so conditioned for action heavy games. It's kind of hard to do something else. You know what I'm saying? You got to have something flashy to draw people in and stuff like that. And Here's the thing. Everyone complains about microtransactions and all games are the same. Well, this is your chance to play something different. And then when somebody goes along and makes something different, then you don't want to hear it. You want more of the same. Make a little bit of music and shit like that. It's the same shit. It's very difficult to try to please people. So instead of pleasing people, sometimes you gotta have the best of both worlds. Sometimes you gotta cater to one side and then cater to the other. Now, the best way to go about it is make something that's fucking casual or something fast foody, and then you can make your own stuff. You know what I'm saying? To keep your creative juices flowing. So make something that's heavily action packed to get your money, and then you make something that is like, your creative juices. That's from your creative juices. But based off of this shit, like I said before, it seems like you need to kind of know how quantum theory works to understand the gist of this game. There's going to be a lot of things that's going to be like, that's bogus, or whatever the case is. Quantum theory is very weird. Oh yeah, that's another thing that somebody said, that the game is very straightforward. They said, but I feel like it's straightforward if you look at it as face value. If you know how quantum theory works and how that's going to happen, then it'd probably be a little bit more interesting. And plus, this is a Japanese type game, so you gotta expect the craziness and shit like that anyway. I hate to sound so stereotypical, but just like Americans like fucking action-packed games, it is what it is. It is what it is, right? You know what I mean? What can you say? Like, Europeans do artsy fartsy games, shit like that. It is what it is. But yeah, I think it's going to hit an 85. I think it's going to be very decisive. I thought it was going to be decisive, but not that decisive. Now I'm reading what these impressions are, and it's like, it's one of those games where it's like, it's so against the grain of everything. It's going to probably take some time for people to like really understand it. I think it's going to be the reverse of Metal Gear Solid 5. I feel like people are going to like the game or dislike the game initially, and then start to grow. It starts to grow on them. Whereas Metal Gear Solid 5, people immediately was just like, oh, it's a new Metal Gear Solid game, and then after that, novelty worn off. It was like, what the fuck is this shit? So a lot of people don't like Metal Gear Solid 5 or 4, and it's been gradually going down. You know what I mean? And people are going to say that Kojima's a hack, but at least, even if all things considered, he tried something different. Whether he wants to be a director or whatever the case is, at least he tried something different. It is what it is. He made what he wanted to make, and that is the result. And it's it's like the type of game it is. It's an adventure game. It's an adventure game, and we forgot what an adventure game is. We're so used to action adventure, you know what I mean? But this is a pure adventure game. People think it's tedious to walk around, and because there's nothing else going on, especially since there's no day and night cycles and stuff like that. But here, it is what it is. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, but those are your spoilers. They're spoiler-free spoilers. In case people were kind of curious about how the game worked. And yeah, I put myself, in jeopardy with this shit. Not because I'm afraid somebody's going to, find this video or whatever the case is, but the very fact that I want this game, and I didn't want any spoilers, but I decided for the people that really didn't want to read these things but were so kind of nervous about the game or on the fence, I want to provide these spoiler-free spoilers, you know what I'm saying, to see, what the game is about, and you can make your decision. And like I said before, if you can guess the Metacritic, that's $60 to you. Remember, the email will be in the description. Email me a picture of you subscribing to me, and then I'll send you back the $60 promo code. Only one person though, so you know what I mean? Whoever I find first, that's the person that wins. But thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Let me know in the comments what you liked or disliked about the video, and if you liked it, a sub would be appreciated. Deuces.